Hi, I'm Randy from Truck Bed Treasures. For 40 years, Cheryl and I have been digging through basements, attics, hoarder houses, barns, anywhere where we could find and unearth treasures and put them back in the hands of the people that really appreciate what they are. So, if you're watching this video, please watch it to the end and subscribe. We go on a lot of adventures and misadventures, and we're inviting you to come with us on every one. Thanks. Enjoy the video. Hey, welcome to another adventure with Truck Bed Treasures, and you can see I'm still in the back of Cheryl's SUV. I'm picking up my truck tomorrow, so I'm very happy when I can start shooting out of the bed of my truck. So we've been going through a lot of Hoarder House totes that have been sitting in storage for a couple years, and we don't know what's in them, and we're just now getting the time to figure it out. So I'm going to start with one tote and a box that I brought back from storage. I'm going to go through that and see what we can find. This box is partially open, so the first thing I'm pulling out is a very cool, what's referred to as an I Dream of Jeannie bottle. And I believe this is Jim Beam, probably 1950s or early 60s. And folklore has it that somebody associated with the show was walking by a liquor store and saw this bottle in the window, and it's missing the stopper on it, which really sets it off, but it's still a great piece. And they bought it for, I think, $5.99 and took it back, and they painted it, and that became the iconic I Dream of Jeannie bottle. It's the first one I've ever had where I don't have a stopper in it, which is kind of sad, but I couldn't let it go to recycling. It's just too iconic. And maybe somebody's got a stopper that they can put in it. So it still has some value, probably without the stopper, still worth $25 to $30, which isn't bad for a bottle that sold new for probably under $6 back in the day. Then I have a couple really old pieces. It looks like it's some kind of a silver metal over copper, and extremely old. These type of things are very popular for putting plants in. And here's a larger version of it. Again, some kind of a metal. I don't think it's silver plate over copper, but I think they're attractive the way they are. They're very cool for plants, and again, just way too nice to end up in a recycling bin somewhere. I think they're perfect the way they are, but if somebody wanted to, I would think that they could paint them and then sand bits of them down to distress them, and they would be pretty amazing. So that's the box. It only had a few things in it, and I just threw that on the floor. And now we're going to get after this tote, which on top, very cool frame print of a little boy in a baseball cap. And could you see that hanging in some little boy's bedroom and getting them interested in the game of baseball at a young age? That's just a phenomenal piece right there. And it looks like there's more. Oh wow, look at this one. It's pretty amazing. A little debonair future Hall of Famer right there. Oh God, that really broke my heart a little bit that fell. Again, I can't wait till I get my truck back. Those are just very cool little prints. And it looks like there may be a lot more in here. So let's see what we have. Wow, that's just soft colors and really cool designs. This one's got a little damage on it, but I think it can be matted out, framed and matted. Look at the colors on that. Look at those eyes. Phenomenal. Wow. A Christmas scene, a winter scene. Again, the colors on the cheeks and the The lips and the eyes and the simulated fur with the paint. Oh my gosh. I mean, who wouldn't want that? I mean, if you grew up when I did in the 60s, I'm sure these were in so many homes and so many bedrooms. This last thing is just a cardboard sleeve, but just unbelievable, beautiful, beautiful prints that are still relevant today for framing. Wow, these are beautiful. Just beautiful. I'd like to put them somewhere where they're going to show up at the end of the shoot, because I like to step back so Cheryl can get a picture of everything so you can see in the thumbnail what we're looking at. There's two of these. I'm thinking these are probably 1950s or 1960s electrified Christmas wreaths, and they don't have any names on them, but they've got to be 1960s. I'm thinking, doesn't look like they were opened. You know, there's masking tape, but maybe they weren't open. They look brand new, like the cords are all wrapped up inside yet. You know, it's like mid-century modern Christmas decor decorations. Wow. Wow, that's wood. Looks like it was homemade, painted with a brush, and then the front was painted. It looks like you would hang keys on it. Excuse me. It's a really fun piece. Oh my God. Starsky and Hutch, 1970s. You know, it's kind of funny because the blonde, David, can't think of his last name, was Hutch, and that was my nickname actually in high school. And a friend of mine, you know, how silly you are in high school, but people started calling me Hutch when this show came out. Wow. Doesn't look like it was ever used. The plastic is kind of broke out on it, but that's new old stock right there, boys and girls. I mean, wow. If you grew up in the 60s and 70s, who didn't watch Starsky and Hutch? This is kind of an awesome little piece. It's a miniature horse collar with a mirror in it. Wow, it's like a miniature version of the full-size piece. It's probably about 10 inches. That's a cool piece right there. I'm going to lay it on its back so you don't have to look at my reflection in it. We have some cigars here. I don't know what they are. I don't remember boxing this up. 50 cents each. Clinton for president. Bet on Bush. Oh my God. Delicious fruit flavored bubblegum cigars. Oh my gosh. It's a full package of George Bush Sr. cigars, bubblegum cigars, and Clinton for president cigars. Wow. Wow, these are, wow, they're all stuck together. It looks like they might have seen their better days. I don't think I would do any chewing on them, but kind of cool pieces for people that collect presidential things. Oh, what else have we got going on here? This would have been something that I would have saw in the 1960s. It's in a plastic container, but it's a cat with green rhinestone eyes and a feather on the back. There's what the back says. I'm thinking made in Japan. What are you guys thinking? Hollywood, London, Paris, Max Factor. Oh, that's kind of an interesting advertising piece. Doesn't that scream 60s? That's pretty awesome right there. We have a couple hammers. There's one, two. So I used to work on cars, so I know that this would be, I use these for pounding out dents from behind the fenders. This is more of a rock hound type. And the difference that I noticed on these is, if you look at this really close, you see how roughly made it is? That's hand forged. That's actually sticking metal in a hot furnace and pounding that out to get the desired look that you want. Where this one is nice and smooth, so it's machined. So when you hear about something that's hand forged, right there you can see the primitive. There's no straight lines on that. That's made with hot iron and a hammer, just pounding that into the form. So kind of a couple cool hammers and a little bit of history on them. Yeah, kind of cool guys. Here's an extremely old beer can. Horton beer, premium. It's a flat top, open with the old style can openers. Even in the condition, this can is probably worth, I've never seen one. I bet you this can is worth close to $20, even in this rusty old condition. So it's a nice collector's piece. If they're rare, if the cans are rare, they'll take them in almost any condition possible. Here's another one, a Gellerman's. And it's a bank. So that's probably why I would have kept that one out. So we'll set that there. And since we're doing tins, we're going to do some tobacco tins. Because there's like a handful of them here. Half and half. This looks like a half piece like this, shoved in another half piece. These are pretty valuable. The half ones are somewhat rare. Tuxedo. I think Tuxedo is a fairly rare brand. Prince Albert and Velvet, pretty common. They're pretty common, but I think Tuxedo might be a pretty good can. And I know these half cans are really good. Okay, let's see what we have. It's a dirty toy cap gun. Wow, is that thing dirty. Whoosh. Wow. Remember playing with these in the 60s. Put your roll caps in there. The cap comes up through the top. Every time you pull the trigger, it hits a cap. And it still works. Wow, that's rare. Usually the little spring in there is broken. A lot of different things in here, guys. Here's a... Wow. If I can get this out without breaking it. How beautiful is that? And to make it even more stunning, look at that. You can see through it, and it's lighting it up. That's a pretty stunning piece right there. I don't think I boxed this one up because I don't remember any of this stuff. It looks like one of my box jobs, but I would think that would be for putting candy in. But look at how ornate and how beautiful those colors are. I apologize. It's a little bit dark in here. When I get my truck back, it'll be a lot lighter like it used to be. So this is, kind of bear with me here. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm trying my best. I really am. But it just hard to get lighting through here when you have a hatch top over your head. It's an old cast iron plane. I don't think it's I don't think it's old. I don't think it's like 1930s or 1940s, obviously, but I do think it's probably 1960 reproduction or 1970s reproduction. So it's kind of a fun little piece, you know, for a display. The propellers turn, or at least they're supposed to. The two side ones do. And this one does too, I guess. That's just kind of a nice little piece for somebody's desk, you know, somebody that collects airplanes. Uh-oh. You know, if you grew up when I did, in the 60s, who doesn't remember Popeye? This is a hard plastic, at least 12-inch Popeye. I don't know if it would be a doll. That's what it's marked at. Right there, if somebody wants to look that up and comment in the comment section, that would be awesome. But it's hard plastic, and it must have been a squeeze toy at one time. That's where the noise would have came out. You know, the legs move, the arms move. Who didn't grow up with Popeye and olive oil, right? That's a fun piece. I think he's probably, yeah, he's missing his pipe. But otherwise, it looks like everything is there. That could be a pretty decent piece. Kind of a fun piece. Looks like we have another toy. Looks like it was battery operated at one time. It's an Elgin Street King street sweeper. Wow. I've never seen one of these. The brushes are both there. And you follow the cord down, and there's a compartment for batteries, but I think it's seen its better days. But I would think that somewhere out there somebody's got one of these with a good battery case to it, and maybe the street sweeper itself got all banged up. This one looks like it's in really nice shape. It's got some dust and dirt on it, but I mean, the paint on that is still really good. The brushes are really good. Tires are good on it. The graphics are good. I think it's a pretty good piece. It's just, I don't think that's going to turn on anymore, do you? Wow. No, I don't think it will. Oh, we have another tin I just threw down there. We'll set that up there. What else we got going on here? That's kind of a nice piece. Minocqua flax water bag. The Pueblo Tent and Awning Company, Pueblo, Colorado. Soak in water before using. Yeah, so you soak it in water and fill it with water. And this was what you would carry out in the desert or wherever you were going. There's your spout. It's a pretty interesting piece. I've seen these before, and usually they're all beat up. This one is actually in pretty nice shape. And if you hand washed it, it would be pretty phenomenal. You know, the graphics on it are really good. It's got graphics on just the one side. So yeah, I think that's a good piece. Maybe worth $25, $30, I'm thinking. Okay, we have a U.S. Navy ship. I'm thinking this is a watch. Oh, it's actually two knives. One is marked Navy, and the other one has a ship on it. It's new old stock, new in wrapper. It doesn't have the name of the ship on it, but it is a ship. Kind of a cool piece. If you're a veteran, Navy veteran, I'm Marine Corps. This is a space or race thing, motorcycle races, Harley Davidson. You know, I'm a Harley rider. So I guess these two are up my alley, except I was never on a ship. I never raced Harleys, but boy, I rode them hard, I can tell you that. Those are kind of two very cool pieces. This one's not been opened, so I'm not going to open it and mess with it. because a lot of people want to buy them, and if they're sealed, they want them that way. It's a Miller Lite can, but it's not a Miller Lite can. There's something coming out of it. I'm going to see if I can put this against my side while I open this. It's like a new trick. Can comes apart. Oh, there's a NASCAR in it. Come on apart. Wow. Miller Lite car number 21. I'm not a NASCAR guy, so I don't know who drives number. Must be number 2. Yeah, number 2. If you guys know who drives number 2 NASCAR, leave me a message. Leave me a convo in the convo section, please. I love hearing from you guys. You know, we get people that message us from all over the country, and actually all over the world. Australia, New Zealand, Russia. It kind of makes you feel good, you know, that you're touching people's memories and showing them things that they may have had when they were younger. And it's always a good feeling to see those things again. You know, it brings back some really good times. At least it does for me. Again, I design products for companies, pet products. My website's randyjack.com. But I would rather dig and find items like this, items like this, items like all of this, than design a product for a company and see it on store shelves. This brings me more satisfaction to hear from you guys in the comment section saying how much it meant to you to see some of the things that we found and how many memories it brought back. It means more to me than that. You guys are great. Comment on the comment section and let us know where you're from. We're kind of keeping a mental map of where we're reaching out to people, so that would be very cool if you would do that. Here's a Mountain Dew can. That's the same thing, so I'm going to kind of do a side grab. This is Mountain Dew, and it's, come on out, it is number 19 in the Dodge. So again, not a NASCAR guy. If you guys are, let me know who drives number 19. I like Dodge because I've had a lot of them, you know, Dodge quads, but now I'm driving a Chevy. I'm actually not driving a Chevy. It's at the body shop, but I'm picking it up tomorrow. It's been a long wait, let me tell you. Here's a little fun piece. You shake the dice. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, it's got 2 little marbles, and I'm assuming you try to get it in the creature's eyes. It's a fun little piece. It's got some decent age to it. Wow, this is a very cool toolbox. I think I have another one of these somewhere. I remember seeing one of these somewhere. It's got the handle, which is rare. The graphics are amazing on this. Whoever had this couldn't have played with it. I mean, it's just amazing. Hopefully it's full of stuff inside, full of tools, kids' tools. And it is. Rubber-like vinyl tools, safe, soft, and non-marking. The Ohio Art Company. Wow, looks like everything is there. Look at that. So this stuff would have gotten lost. There's probably, I don't think this magnet's part of it, but it's in there. Wow, you have a little level. You have wrenches. Oh my God. Look at this egg beater drill. There's some rare stuff in here. Look at that axe. There's a hatchet or another axe. Oh, it must be. Wow. How cool is that? This is just, I mean, precious. Can you imagine, you know, dad going out in the garage to work on something, and their little boy or little girl grabs a toolbox and follows them out into the garage. I used to do body work on cars, and my daughter Kristen would come out when I was working on a car or a Jeep, you know, doing mechanic work or doing some body work, and she would take one of her wrenches, you know, one of the wrenches out of my garage, and she would go over and get down on her knees next to her little tricycle, and she would start working on her tricycle, you know. Yeah. Brings happy tears to my eyes. Wow. Yeah, that's just a cool piece right there. Very cool piece. Here we have some Christmas decorations for the billiards player. I don't think they're really old, but they're not marked either. Probably 1970s. What are you guys thinking? 70s? I think so. I'm going to lean that up right there to get some color back there. Here's another tobacco tin. Kind of quite a collection here. You know, I'm thinking those tins are probably worth 40 bucks. You know, a lot of people just throw them away. But that tuxedo tin could be worth 40 alone. I'm not sure. I don't know tins that well. This looks like a new piece. I don't know what it is. It's got a clip on it, which means it's a knife of some kind. You must open it up right there. I gotta do this, yeah, there it is. It's a knife. It opens up all the way. Huh. You must carry that clipper right onto your belt. Kind of an interesting piece. Lay that down there. John Deere. John Deere stuff is always collectible. It's kind of a cool piece. It's plastic, but nothing runs like a Deere. I think I'll put this gun right on the water bag. I don't know what is next, guys. I don't know what this is. This is a Bugler thrift kit. 2 packs of Bugler cigar tobacco rolling machine. Wow, that's old. That must be the rolling machine in there, which I don't think I'm going to try to get out because I might destroy the box. But at some point I'm going to have to take it out. You know, back when people rolled their own smokes, right? That's got to be worth some money for advertising. An advertising piece. The price on it is $1. What can you buy for $1 these days? Not much of anything, right? Looks like I have a U.S. flag, which I'm going to gently lay back here. It's kind of a nylon, so I don't think it's a 48 star. It's probably a 50 star. Oh, here's a beautiful religious item. And I've had these before, and they're actually, it's got plastic wrapped on it, but these are worth like $100, $200, $300. But it's missing the glass dome. It would have a dome on it, similar to like an anniversary clock. You can see the ridge where it would sit in the base. There's a ladder on the back side. This is a really valuable piece. It's missing the dome, but I think, you know, I just hate selling religious pieces. You know, it's just, whenever I sell or give one away, I'm kind of torn on it. I don't know if you're supposed to make money off of religious pieces, but then if you sell them, you're putting them out there for people to enjoy also. So I kind of go back and forth on that. If you have a strong opinion on it, let me know. I would really appreciate hearing it. I really would. Oh, this has been sitting around for a while. A classic thermometer. Look at the amount of dust on that. And who do we have? We have the Duke, John Wayne. They just don't make them like him anymore. They really don't. That's a pretty cool piece right there. I love John Wayne movies. Running out of room here. I have a cast iron horse. I have a rider. And I think that rider sits on this cast iron buggy right here. Or he did at one time. Yeah, there he goes. Well, again, I don't think it's antique cast iron, but it's not 1990s either. And that's the way the tail's supposed to be, kind of a bob tail. You know, it's vintage cast iron. That's a collectible piece, I think. And we have a cigar box. And then underneath that, there's 340 4-barrel. That would go on an air cleaner of a V8 340 4-barrel engine. And if you're redoing one, you would want something like this. You know, it's a factory reproduction. It's a nice piece to have. I used to work on cars. You know, I was a 70 Chevelle type guy. So a 340, I'm going to take a guess and think it's probably a Chrysler product. I'm not sure, but I think it's probably Plymouth Chrysler. In the cigar box, we have a Face of Fortune, Know Thyself. Boy, that's an old piece right there, guys. What is it? Looks like a fortune telling with a whiskey advertisement. Man, that's got to be old. That's got to be early 1900s. Face of Fortune, Know Thyself. What else do we have here? It's another old Be a Better Student, a magic slate. You almost think that this would be like come in a cereal box or something. That's got to be like 1940s. So you have two pieces there. You have something mossy oak, which is a camo design. That's a new cigarette lighter. That go over by the tins, right? Because that's kind of a newer piece. Oh, wow. Again, if you grew up in the 60s, you know what these are. I'm going to see if I can... I'm going to hold this up to the sky and see if I can get a light through it. You can kind of see the colors through it. It's a nice game piece right there. I like that. The only thing left in here, arrowheads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, these are probably, they're larger, so they're probably spearheads. Arrowheads are like really tiny. I don't think they were usually big, but they could have been arrowheads. You know, Cheryl and I lived in a log home at the foothill of the Ozark Mountains in north central Arkansas. And I used to buy a lot of arrowheads down there because I think it was called Black Creek River. They would do a lot of digs in there, and they would find arrowheads. But I bought a bunch from a guy one time for a lot of money because I was new at Native American artifacts, and I took him to a guy down in Arkansas. His name was Dub, D-U-B, and he had written books, I think, on arrowheads. And when I showed him the collection I bought, he kind of frowned, and then he kind of laughed at me. And he said, "Boy, let me tell you something. He said back in the 60s, back in the 50s, the people in the South used to sit down, and it was called napping, I think. And they would make these arrowheads out of limestone and other types of stone. And they would fill the trunks of their cars with them, and they would take them up north and they would sell them to the northerners as genuine Indian head, arrowheads, spearheads, axe heads. And he said that's what these are. They were made by, I think the term is nappers. And I would almost assume that these are from the same entrepreneurs from back in the 60s, or maybe even newer. Maybe there's still people doing it and making a lot of money off it. So if you buy Native American stuff, you really have to get it checked out, because you can pay a fortune for something that's really not that old. So that's all I have to show you today. Again, my truck I pick up tomorrow right around noon. So I'm really stoked about that, because I love working out of the truck bed and showing you guys treasures. And I love hauling the treasures in the truck. And that's how we got the name of our YouTube channel, our Etsy stores, our eBay stores, is Truck Bed Treasures. And my product design website is randyjack.com. Again, mostly pet products. And thanks for spending time with me today. Some pretty cool things here. We have about 40 more totes from this hoarder house that we emptied a couple years ago, still in storage, and we're just now getting time to empty it out. So I really appreciate you guys walking down memory lane with me. I love this stuff. You know, it's a part of me, and I hope it triggers some memories with you, some smiles, some tears, and everything in between. Hang out with us the next time around. I appreciate you spending some time with me. Have a great weekend.